it wouldn't go. I was trying to make it go horizontal, but it wouldn't allow me to do that. So we're gonna go this way, vertical. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to Baseline Farms. My name is Jade. So we are going live. Oh shoot, I forgot my microphones. I forgot the microphones. They're inside the trailer. I don't know if that's gonna make any difference or make a huge difference. So I was trying to get on here at 7 a.m. It's now 7:05. I'm sorry about that because I was having some technical difficulties. All right, so today it is July 14th and we're going live. And I'm excited because I love doing these live videos because I don't know, life is so busy and sometimes you just don't have the time to edit things, and I just want to get a video out to say hello to all our friends and to, you know, let everyone know that we're doing okay in this heat, you guys. So today is July 14th. It has been over 100 degrees for the past 10 days. 10 days. Today is supposed to be like around, I think, 90 something degrees, so it should be a lot warmer. I mean, a lot cooler for sure. All right, so let me just get started on this garden tour because I hope this is not a long one, and if so, and you're sticking with me, thank you so much. Okay, so over here, let's see where we're gonna start. There's John. John's bringing the microphones out for me. He's wearing these pair of cargo pants. It's like his most comfortable pair of cargo pants. And there's like a hole right in his private area. And I keep forgetting to sew it. You can't really see it unless now everyone knows. Now you're gonna be looking, hopefully no one's looking for it. Okay, over here in this garden bed, I guess I'll put it right here. Does that look right? Yeah? Okay, so let me know if you could hear me or not, and if this is clear. Is it on? Okay. All right. So over here in this garden bed, we got a bed of weeds, these beautiful weeds. You know, I've been meaning to tackle this bed right here, but as you can see, it's so overwhelming. It's so overwhelming. And so, yeah, I don't want to do it quite yet. But I need to, because those weeds, look at that. I mean, I wish this was actual grass and I had it throughout the garden, because that would just look so phenomenal and so beautiful to be able to walk on some grass, because I sure do miss that. Yeah, we don't have any grass out here, just a bunch of weeds. So over here in this garden bed, you guys, so we started these pole beans. So we have the Python pole beans on this side, and we have the Valley, what is it called? Lake Valley blue lake beans, pole beans on this other side, and they're doing really good. Everything is doing fantastic. Can everyone hear me okay? I hope everyone can hear me okay, because you know, I'm not used to using a microphone. So you guys, we had something in the garden, some voles. I don't know if anyone's ever seen a vole. A vole looks like a mouse and a mole. Let me fix you up a little bit. I feel like it's so high that I'm looking up at the camera here. So let me adjust you. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Okay. There we go. Sorry, guys. Bear with me, okay? Bear with me. You know, these live things. All right. Hopefully that's a little better. Okay. So we had these little critters in the garden, and they're called voles. At first I thought it was a rat, then I thought it was a mouse. And then our neighbor across the way, they're having some horrible vole problems. And we caught one last night. And that little sucker has been taking out all of my strawberries, all of the beans that I planted, I'll show you, and some of the new beans that we just started on 4th of July weekend. So let me share with you how those beans that we started, those little, what are they called? Bush beans from this value pack. I tell you what, guys, this is like the best value pack ever. I don't even know how much $8. I bought it for $8, and man, it's the package that keeps on giving. This beans. So we have those bush happening is those voles, or I don't know if it's one or many. I'm not sure. Just eating the tops of the bush beans. And so I have popped in some more in here, and I'm hoping that we're going to get some more of these bush beans. You guys, these puppies, I'm going to give you a good look at how the puppies are doing, because they are getting so stinking big. Val are, oh yeah, look at that. Okay, here they are. Here they are. Look, there's Val. And then look at Mira. Do you see that? She's our Great Pyrenees, and she is stubborn. She is so stubborn. So over here we have our San Marzano's Roma tomatoes, and this is how they're doing fantastic. Everything's doing really well, you guys. Even despite the heat and how hot it's been, everything in the garden is doing really well. Okay, so over here in this garden bed right here, we have some more weeds. And so this is the garden bed that John, we were trying out something, and he decided he's going to try to burn the weeds out of this garden bed. And so he did. But man, these weeds came back with a vengeance, because look how green they are. I mean, when it gets to be this bad, it's really hard to tackle. It's not even so hard to tackle. It's just, it's a lot of work in the heat, you know? It's just a lot of work. And lately, I have been having to go out to the job sites to water the containers almost every day, because it's just so hot. Over 112, 111. We've lost 2 chickens in the heat, which is extremely sad. Makes me so sad when I lose chicken. And so now we're down to 20 ladies, but they just fell asleep at night, and yeah, just went to sleep forever. So I have put misters out into their little area, but the last couple nights it hasn't been getting cool at all. It was probably in the high 70s. So crazy. So today is supposed to be super nice in the 90s. But you guys, I have carrots back there. I don't know if you see those. I still have carrots in the garden. Look at that. I have picked out a few. They're kind of tiny. They're small. I think I'm just going to go ahead and harvest all of these, just so that way I can go ahead and clean out this bed. And I don't know if I'm going to save it for the spring, or if I'm going to save it for, you know, planting something for the summer, because I do have a couple other garden beds that I'm going to put some squash and some more beans in. So you guys, this is the cucumbers. So we have our Supremo cucumbers right over here that are doing so good. I mean, I just cannot even complain. I have been pulling out cucumber from this garden bed every day. So it's so nice. Now I feel like I have enough now where I could start, you know, giving it away. You know, we have some friends in the area, and it's just so fun. I don't know. I just like it. I like doing it. So we have just beautiful cucumbers. Now these cucumbers are a little bit on the smaller side. Let me show you. And this garden bed is the garden bed that the voles were getting into. Voles. I mean, I didn't even know such a thing existed. A vole. It's like a half mouse, half mole. So that's what the cucumber size looks like, kind of small like this. And this is perfect because I like those little small pickling cucumbers. But that's what we have going on in this garden bed. Let me give you a really good look at all how the plants are doing. So, excuse me. So over here, this, what was I about to say? I was going to say something. I totally forgot. So over here, we have a tomato plant right here. I didn't have the heart to pull it out, so I left it in here. And you know what? It's so crazy. I think these tomatoes right here, I don't think these are Roma tomatoes. I think these are tomatoes that I planted here a couple years ago called Bronze Torch. I think that's what that is. Isn't that crazy? That was a couple years ago. And that seed made its way to the surface. So over here we have our bush beans. And these are the same, I believe these are the same bush beans that I planted the value pack. So this is where the voles were living. They're literally digging holes in here. Yeah, just really giving it a good number. And so they ate a lot of the beans, but I have been harvesting still some of the beans because I don't want to give them all to those little varmints. I want to at least harvest some for ourselves. So I've been trying to harvest as much as I can to not leave any kind of food out here, if that makes sense, because there's food everywhere here. So over here we have strawberries on the very edge right there that are doing fantastic. So in the heat, we haven't been getting a lot of strawberries. I think it's just because it's too hot. And so, and they are a little bit smaller right now. And they just don't look too good. As you can see, it just looks a little sparse. You might want to pull your pants up. My pants are pulled up. Bush beans come in a can. I'm sure. Hi, Mary. Okay, so so here we are. We have our little strawberry patch, and we have some small strawberries. Yeah, we were pulling out some really big strawberries in this little strawberry patch, but I think because of the heat, they're pretty small, like this size. You know, not too bad, not too bad. I wish I was getting more so I could at least make some kind of jam, but yeah, we don't have enough to make jam. John, every time I pick them, they sit on the counter and John eats them all, so I don't really get enough to jam anything. But it's okay, because, you know, you never know. If I keep adding more strawberries to this garden bed, which that's my hope is, or my plan is, to eventually fill this whole garden bed with strawberries. And of course, remove the weeds. Those weeds are off the hook. Okay, you guys, look in here. The trusty lemongrass. Beautiful. It's beautiful. I have nothing. It's super easy. Super easy. Okay. So we have here some lemongrass, and it's amazing, and I love it, and it's super easy to keep. I have not trimmed it at all this summer. I kind of just let it go wild, because last summer I did trim it. I gave it a really good trimming, and it looked pretty ugly. So, you know, and I didn't know what I was doing. So now I just kind of let it go, and I just harvest it as I need it, and it's amazing. I love it. Oh, thank you, cute pups. Thank you. So I'm trying to read some of these comments, but we're going to keep on going with this garden tour. Weeds around here. Oh, I know. The weeds here are just crazy. The weeds around here are crazy. And they seem to love the heat. I was hoping they die in the heat. No, nope. All right, you guys. So over here we have, oh, what are you looking at? Whoopsie daisy. Okay. We have a bunch of stuff. Okay, do you see these guys? These are Jerusalem artichokes. So when John and I harvest these Jerusalem artichokes, I was thinking we were going to get the excavator in here. We're going to dig it all up. We're going to collect every single Jerusalem artichoke. That's totally impossible. I feel like that's completely impossible, because they have come back. I mean, just with the vengeance, And before they popped up, I planted some asparagus. I have no idea if the asparagus is even going to grow, or if it's even going to do good, or how it's going to do. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know. But we also have some regular artichokes, and they have died out a little bit. I don't know if you see this one little. I should cut it. I should cut it back. But like I said, I haven't been here in the garden very much, because we've been working. We've been working quite a bit, and plus we're getting ready for Berry Fest, so we've been working on that. That's just nuts. I still think we're kind of crazy sometimes, but this is how this garden bed's doing. The Jerusalem artichokes, look at that. That's crazy. They're so tall. I mean, I'm not tall, I'm average size, but they're so tall. So in this garden bed, that's pretty much what we have. Jerusalem artichokes, some regular artichokes that I don't know if are going to come back because they look pretty dead, but they are perennials in our zone. So I'm wondering if I keep watering them, I'm sure they're going to come back. And some asparagus. Not sure if the asparagus is going to do good because it's not getting a lot of sun because of these Jerusalem artichokes. Okay, now off to the blackberry bush. All right, you guys, so here is the blackberry bush. We do have some flowers up here at the very top. I don't know if we're gonna get, oh no, I dropped my microphone. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not with my microphone. So just let me know if it's too loud. Sorry, bear with me, guys. I don't even know how to put this sucker on. There, is that better? Okay. Yeah, asparagus. Yeah, someone just said I heard asparagus take forever. They do. I heard they take like 3 years. And so that's what I thought, you know, I put them in this garden bed, out of sight, out of mind. But these Jerusalem artichokes are just nuts. Okay, so over here we have our blackberry bush. And our blackberry bush is doing okay. He's not dead. So my understanding with blackberry bushes is that you get fruit or the berries on new canes. And so we had a bunch of old canes on here that they weren't producing any berries. So what I did was I just cut those out, and then some of these new ones started popping up and some flowers started developing. Now, then the heat came and some of the flowers look a little dry. Even the berries, they look a little crispy. So I'm not too sure if we're going to get any berries in this heat. I mean, you know, I thought blackberries were pretty easy to grow because out here over by the river, they're like growing mad. They're growing mad. We have them at one job site and we keep pulling them out and they keep coming back. And so I was thinking, you know, maybe the blackberries are easy to grow. I don't know. Not for me. Not for me. And it's probably because I have no idea what I'm doing. Maybe I'm giving it too much water, or maybe I'm not giving it enough water, but I've been watering it every day. So I'm hoping that everything is going good. I'm just reading my cousin's text message and she's like, I'm watching you live. Hi. All right. So that is how the blackberry bush is doing. Now, you guys, I am so proud of this garden bed. And I don't know, it's just so full. I mean, okay, so yes, all the garden beds are pretty full, but this one I have so many things growing in it. So many things. Okay, right here we have some broccoli. Now in the last video, I kept calling this cauliflower. It is not cauliflower. This is broccoli. So we have some broccoli growing here in the center, and we do have some heads. Look, do you see that? Do you see that little guy? Look at that little guy. I know broccoli is a cool season plant. So the fact that it's not dead and it's still growing is amazing. Amazing. So I started these from seed and this is how it's looking. It's looking fantastic. Even in the 100-degree weather, you guys. 100 degrees. It's crazy. So we have some cucumbers trellising over these trellises. And this is they're not even trellises. I feel like you can make anything a trellis. This is just, oh, what do they call? I wish I knew. And the next time I go to Home Depot, I'm going to go and find out what the name of these things are because they're pretty inexpensive. And, you know, it's like a quick trellising mechanism for your garden beds if you need something pretty quick, because those cattle panels, first of all, you need a truck to pick it up. And then they're like $30 now. They're not that inexpensive like how they used to be. And so these suckers are like $3.85, $4. So that's not too bad. And I have, what do I have on this? Armenian cucumbers. So we have some Armenian cucumbers. Last year I grew beans. And so that's pretty much how those are doing. So that's how everything's doing in this bed. Is we have some of the Armenian cucumbers, and then I know, Mary, isn't this huge? Oh, look it. We have our first, oh, shoot, I'm so sorry. Our first Armenian cucumber right there. Oh, two of them. Look at that. I don't know. No, I didn't. I've never grown the Armenian cucumber. I've only grown the Suyo cucumber and some pickling cucumber, the Supremo cucumber. Hmm. I know I grew a few other ones, but we have some of these homemade pickling cucumbers on this side. You see that? Looking so good. I have pickled a few jars of pickles. Oh, look at that, guys. Look at that. That's a good, I am so shocked that, I don't want to even say it just because I'm afraid I'm going to jinx myself, but I'm so shocked there's no aphids because aphids love broccoli. So I'm shocked that there's no aphids on there. That's amazing. So now also in this garden bed, we have some bush beans right over here. Now these bush beans, I thought they were a yellow bush beans, and okay, there's this person on here that's saying some weird stuff, some weird stuff, and I'm just gonna say, is it this person is named Bugs Bunny? What you're asking about my belly button? I think it's none of your business. So weird. Oh my goodness, you're up early asking about people's belly buttons. If it's an innie or an outie. You weirdo. Okay, so over here we have some bush beans. And these bush beans are, I thought they were yellow bush beans, but they're not. They are just the regular bush beans, and I wish I could show you some, but I know that little pesky vole was eating some of these, and I have harvested them. I harvested quite a bit. Shoot, I think I just broke part of the plant. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I'll show you a little one. So that's what it normally looks like. A little bigger than that, but little bush bean. I wish the voles didn't get into this garden bed because I'm sure it would have looked amazing. And yeah, probably would have looked amazing. All the animals are out and about. Bella's over there. Do you see Bella? Let me show you. Where is she? She's way over there trying to eat the grass in the garden. Every once in a while, I'll let her into the garden bed and into this big garden, and she does eat the grass. But sometimes I'm so scared because I'm afraid she's going to take other things that she's not supposed to. So I have to be in here with her if she wants to, if I want her to eat anything. Okay, you guys, let me see if you could see this. Let me arrange you. Okay, do you see this right here? This little trellising device? I'm hoping that these tomatoes are going to grow up this trellis. Do I still have my microphone? Okay, there we go. So, I don't know what to say. I've put in this trellis, I think it's like 2 years now, and I've never had anything reach the top, ever. And so I've had cucumbers on here, I've had super snappy peas on here, and still nothing has reached the top. I just wanted to see, I see other people's trellises and they're just so beautiful and they're all the way to the top. And I feel it's time. I want that too. All right, I'm just going to toss this little strawberry because it's getting kind of mushy. I think I keep squishing it. So yeah, so I really wanted to have this, beautiful trellising device with fruit hanging down. I don't know what my imagination was, but I was just going to eat it with my mouth open. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what's going on. So now I have these tomatoes, and these tomatoes are just tomatoes that I planted from seed, and I put a little tag in there, and then I didn't use one of those waterproof tags, and so the name rubbed off on it, washed off. So I put them right here in hopes that they're going to trellis over the top, and I cannot wait to see what that's going to look like, because already there's a couple of little tomatoes that I popped out from another garden bed that were, what do they call it? what do they call it when the seed grows up by a volunteer? There are volunteers. And I popped 2 of the volunteers right here in the corners. And look how they're doing. So here's one of the volunteers right there. And I think that's one of those bronze torches. And then we have all these tomatoes. Now I look at these guys right here, and I think these are like a beefsteak tomato, or maybe Cherokee purple, because those are the 2 that I bought, that I planted from seed, that look like that. Do you see that? Look at that. Looking so good. All right, so over here in this garden bed, we have some potatoes. We have harvested a bunch of potatoes from this garden bed, the red potatoes. Oh my goodness, you guys, they're so delicious. This is, I want to say, my 2nd year growing potatoes, and I've never grown a huge amount. I've only grown a little bit at a time. But next year, I think I'm going to dedicate one whole bed and plant a bunch of potatoes. Sorry, I thought Bella was in the garden for a second, but she's really reaching over the side. So that's what we have going in this garden bed. We have some golden potatoes still right at the very edge, those little green patches right there. And everything's doing really well. So I cannot wait to harvest these golden potatoes to see how these golden potatoes are going to taste. All right, what's next? What's next? We're going to go, whoopsie daisy. We are going to go to this raspberry bush. This raspberry bush does not look good. It looks pretty rough, actually. It does not look good at all. Now that I'm looking at it, look at that sucker. That looks pretty sad. So this, let me adjust you guys real fast. I'm sorry about that. Okay. So this right here is my raspberry bush. I don't even know what to say. It looks pretty sad. And I feel really bad that it looks this way. But I also feel that it could be because of the heat. Look how crispy that sounds. Oh, I'm so sorry, little one. I feel like maybe I should put some shade cloth or some umbrellas or something like that, because in one of the garden beds, I did put an umbrella over my pumpkin plant, and it was doing pretty good. And then I left to go to work one day, and I forgot to prop up the umbrella, and man, that little sucker just took a beating. And I thought that pumpkins would do good in the heat, but this guy, I'll show you how it looks. It does not look too hot, and I don't know if it's going to make it through this season, because I mean, this is just nuts. 110, I think yesterday, 2 days in a row, we're 111. And like I said, we lost a couple chickens. And then fires. Oh my goodness, you guys. There's been fires everywhere. So there was a fire way up the way. Oh, my auntie said hello. Hello. Good morning. So I'm glad to have you see me on live. So over, like, way yonder, there was a fire, and John and I were at work, and our neighbor across the way saw that there was like smoke and flames, and so he went out to go and take a look, and he called us up and he said, hey, you guys, there's a fire over by your house, and you know, we just want to let you know. And thank God our kids were home, so they came running out here. They turned on the sprinklers on this side of the property right here, and yeah. So, and I guess the fire jumped the street, but by the time the fire department got there, they got it under control. So that's so scary, you guys, to, you know, to have a fire so close to your house, and then you're not even there. But what are you going to do if you are in your house when there's a fire? You're going to evacuate. That's what you're going to do. Okay, so over here we have our zucchini, and the zucchini has a little bit of ash from the fire, but it's doing fantastic. Now, it hasn't been producing a lot of zucchini because I'm assuming that the garden is not producing a bunch of stuff because of the heat. I'm going to blame the heat for everything. The garden is not producing and not looking super hot because of the heat. And I mean, why would it be? I don't look super hot when I'm in the heat. Sweating all over the place, looking crazy. Yeah. And landscaping is no joke, you guys. It is so freaking hot out in the sun, and sometimes there's just no way to get away from the heat. Yeah, it is hard. Yeah, they do burn Oh my gosh, yesterday someone was just telling me that yesterday was 114 degrees. Holy sorry, I'm sorry. If I hit this microphone, I'm sorry if it hurts your ears. I really apologize. I'm getting used to that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, they do burn their foods. Like we have some almond trees across the way, and I can hear them. They must be harvesting some almonds because across the way we have about 500 acres, and it was undeveloped land for so many years. And then just recently, they just popped in a bunch of almond trees, which is better than houses. But across the way, up the way, they're doing so much development. So that's probably why we got a vole in the parking, in the not parking lot, in the garden. I don't know. We'll see. But right over here, yes, we have a bunch of zucchini. The zucchini is doing fantastic, and I see a couple of them right now. A couple of them right now looking pretty good. I have harvested a few, but we just don't have room in the refrigerator right now. I have made a lot of pickles, and then one of our fridges took a dump, so now we have to figure out where to put some produce, you know. And yeah, because when you're gardening, you don't realize it, but when the fruit comes in abundance, you have to find a place to put it. And no one tells you that when you're planting, except for John. John's like, okay, that's enough seeds, but it's never enough for me. All right, so over here we have our Roma tomatoes, and you guys, look how beautiful they're doing. So last year I grew some Roma tomatoes, and look at this. This is our only sun golds. I didn't plant any sun golds, but this one is our sun gold tomatoes volunteer. It just came up, popped up on its own. So there you go. Super exciting. So last year I had these tomatoes. I grew tomatoes for the past, I don't know how many years now, 4 or 5 years, 4 years. And I would cut the suckers off, and then, just get too busy and then forget to cut the suckers off. So this year I have been on top of it. I've been on top of it. I've been trimming off the suckers and this and that, so I could get, because I have so many tomatoes and I wanted to be able to get a hold of them so they're not all crazy and wild. So I have been on top of it, and let me show you how it looks. It looks really good. It looks so manicured. Do you see that? So here's the one trunk right here, and then all the tomatoes just growing beautifully right off of there. So now under here, underneath the tomatoes, we have a bunch of basil right in there. And the one thing, I was just talking to our neighbor across the way. We went over to their house yesterday to go and check out. They just built a house, and it's so beautiful. And we were talking about the garden and things that we grow in the garden. And I just grow things that I like to, like, for example, I would go to these Thai restaurants and I would order like a Thai green curry. That was my favorite. And I have a lot of Thai favorite dishes, but I love the Thai green curry. So what I would do is I would find out what they put in their Thai green curry. And because going out to eat, it gets kind of expensive sometimes, and plus if you, like, I feel so bad if it's just John and I. So then I invite all the kids, and then all the kids order, and they want to order appetizers and drinks, and then before you know it, you're like over $100 for dinner. It's so silly. What? I don't understand what you're saying. Let's see. Oh, the mic on the top of your pants. Oh, really? You put it on the top of your pants? Down here? I feel like that might be too low. Oh, in the back of your pants? Okay. Does it not sound good? Does the microphone sound good? Am I too loud? Give me a thumbs up if it's okay. Okay. So what was I getting? So yeah, so the Thai dishes. So what I would do is I would find out what they put in the Thai dish, and then I would start growing the plants. I go through my catalog, look for the vegetables that they put in there, and then put it into the garden. And that's how I started. That's how I started. That's why I really wanted to start gardening, is not only were we in a pandemic and there was really nothing to do, was because I just wanted to learn how to cook. Because I wasn't raised with a mom, so I didn't know how to cook very well. And so I started planting these vegetables, and then I started cooking these dishes. Oh my goodness, these dishes are amazing. So with the Thai green curry, I use, and I'll show you the little green eggplant. I have a little green eggplant that I will put in there. I put some peas or some green beans, and then I put some basil, and it is so freaking good. You could just Google the recipe. Google has everything, and so it's amazing. So I do that, and then I like this other dish. It's called Gai Pop by Kapow. It's a Thai dish that's a Thai basil dish, and it is so delicious. You just chop up the chicken, you add some basil, some fish sauce, some other things. But this is not a cooking channel. This is a garden tour, a live garden tour. It's gonna be a long garden tour. All right. So here are Aroma tomatoes doing fantastic. I am so excited. We have some blushing already. You see that right here? Do you see? Let me get this little sucker out of the way. Look at that. We're going to be harvesting some tomatoes pretty soon. I'm so excited about that. That is going to be so exciting. All right. So that is how Aroma tomatoes, basil is doing fantastic. Now over here, this garden bed, this is where our girls planted the kale. So our girls came in here and they have harvested all of their kale. And so now we have a little blank slate right here that I could probably pop in some things, but we have a bunch of eggplant. So we have some eggplant growing here. I bought 2 eggplants from the nursery, and then I grew one myself, and then a cousin gave me another one. So this is how my little eggplants are growing. And I know that these eggplants are going to get huge because last year I had an eggplant, I want to say in another garden bed, and it got huge. It was humongous. It took up the whole corner. I only planted one, and I was pulling eggplant out of that garden bed like for a while. so that is, I'm excited. And what did I do with that eggplant? We used it for a bunch of stuff. I used it to, John got me this cookbook, and it's like a Mediterranean cookbook, and it has a bunch of recipes in there. So I used some of that eggplant in a Mediterranean dish, which is amazing. You guys, look at the Myers lemon. Yay, can you see that? Oh my goodness, look at these little guys. Look how cute they are. I mean, sometimes I feel like this tree is so tiny to have this many lemons on there, but I hope it's a lemon tree. You know, when I bought this lemon tree, see how the mic sounds at the top of. Okay, I'm gonna see how this person says. Put the mic at the top of my pants. Bear with me, guys. Okay, I'm gonna put the mic at the top of my pants and see if you can hear me. I'm sorry. Does that help? Is that better? Do I even use the mic? Okay, I hope that's better. Okay, so here is the Myers lemon. So I bought this one, and it was super tiny. And then I had it for a long time. I'm talking 8+ years. And John kept telling me it's ornamental. It's ornamental. I was like, no, because when I bought it, it had a little lemon on it. There's no way it's ornamental. I mean, granted, the lemon was too quiet now. Okay, I'm gonna put it back up to the top, Murray. Did I see that, Mary? Okay. You know what? We're gonna leave it there. All right, guys, we're gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna mess with it. So I put it here. So I had it planted in another area next to this other lime tree that I thought was ornamental. So I put it over here, and then every time I would do video, you know, I would come over here and tell everybody like, no lemons for many years. Now, all of a sudden, it started growing fruit. Now I have like 12, 13 lemons on this tree, and I just cannot even wait. I just can't even wait to squeeze some lemons and make, I don't know, maybe 2 cups of lemonade. But I'm hoping that it's gonna grow. What if it's a lime? What if it's a lime tree? I'm gonna be really disappointed. Or what if it's just one of those lemon trees that put the little lemons on there that look a little, you know, ornamental, because it's so tiny. So I hope that it grows nice and big. All right, now we are off to, what are these bad boys? These guys are our beefsteak tomatoes. Okay, now do you see this leaf curl? Do you see this leaf curl right here? This, my friends, is a sign of heat stress. Yes, my poor little beefsteak tomatoes are suffering from some heat stress. I'm suffering from heat stress. Man, you should see me out in the job sites. My face is flush. I'm sweating all over the place. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. So that is how these beefsteak, they're doing really good. You know, despite the fact that they are curling like this and looking so underdressed, I feel bad, but the color looks good. The the consistency and the moisture is good. So the only thing I could do is buy some shade cloth and put some shade cloth over this garden bed. But I don't know, you guys, you know, that's like extra expense. Let me tell you, when I started doing this garden, so when I started gardening, I remember telling John, like, I really want to start a garden. So we ended up starting that little garden in the front of the barn. And then I just planted the seeds and everything right into the clay, right into the clay. I put a little tiny little, I just dug a hole with a shovel, with a little hand shovel, put some regular potting soil into the whole little hole, the tiny little hole, the same size as that came out of the container, popped it in there, and then covered it with the rest of the clay. And let me tell you, it did not do that good. It did not do that good. And they looked really puny and they were really small. And I was looking at everyone else's garden. I'm like, what is going on? Why isn't my garden bed, like, why isn't my fruit getting so huge in abundance? And why does it look all sickly? So then I told John, I said, I need some garden beds. I need some raised garden beds. So I dragged some raised garden beds out from a field and plopped them into the small garden and put some, I just went around the property, found some bricks, put the bricks underneath the beds, leveled them, and started growing. And then everything just popped, like it was growing off the hook. So then I told John, like a couple years later, I was like, you know, I think I outgrew that garden. I think I need a bigger garden. And he was like, oh, good Lord. Because I was hand watering everything. We didn't have any irrigation at all. And we had like maybe one sprinkler and a bunch of hoses. So we had irrigation from the hoses. I was the irrigation. I was watering everything. And so then when he saw that I was like really, he saw the crazy eye, like, oh shoot, she's gonna go out to the garden and go grab some more wood and try to build her own garden beds in this somewhere else. So then he decided he's gonna help me out. We plopped in this garden right here. It's 4,000. It's a 4,000 square foot garden in the middle of our property. Well, it's in the middle of 2 acres that we live on, and then we have another 2 acres of just raw land that we eventually are going to build our farm market. Eventually, we're going to get there. We're getting there, and so so yeah, he built me. We have 14 garden beds. They are 4 by 8. We have, let's see, 14, we have 12 4 by 8 and 2 4 by 4 garden beds. So that is so much space. So he was like, you know what, I'm going to keep her busy forever and give her all these garden beds. And he's kept me quite busy gardening in here. So here, over here, I tackled this bed. So this bed, you guys, are where the onions are. And I did film a video. So I had a whole video vlog of me doing a garden tour, and then I started editing it and all this nonsense. And it's not nonsense. I do love doing it. But then when I have to upload it, it takes forever to upload a video. So that's why I like to do it live. All right, so right over here, we had our onions. And we pulled out 62 onions, 62 or 67, when it's like somewhere around 60. And my gosh, they're so delicious. They're a little spicy, but they're so good. They're yellow onions. And now I have another garden bed. So I did amend this soil. I pulled out all the weeds. John's going to order some more mushroom compost so I could top off these garden beds. When we put in these garden beds, we got the excavator. He dug a really deep hole. He dug all the ground underneath it, because it's so hard like clay. And then we mixed it up with some compost, and and then we topped off the bed with just the mushroom compost. So that is how we have been amending our garden beds. And I can see the sun coming up. It is stinking hot. Oh, Lordy, we have a leak over here. I have a little leak in this garden bed right over there. So let me turn this off. Okay, over here in this garden bed. So this garden bed over here, I planted a bunch of seeds. I started some celery, some parsley, some dill. And then what was happening was our crew came in and they were putting irrigation in the back corner of our property. So for our pomegranates. And so they were putting the irrigation in, and they there's nothing growing in here. At least it looked like nothing was growing in here. And so they were using this area. They were just walking in it. They were walking in it and compacting it. And that's what happened. And so I don't know, none of my stuff grew. And at first I thought none of the stuff grew because it was so hot. And this is like cold weather things that I was planting in here. But then some dill started growing. two little dill plants. Look at that. Little hardy little guys. 2 little dill plants started growing right there. So we have some dill. And that's exciting. And then we have a whole nother wheelbarrow of dill right here. So John was at the dump, I don't know, a few months ago, maybe a year ago, something like that. And he found these wheelbarrows that someone just dumped. And he brought them home. He brought them home, and he thought it would be a cool little addition to the garden if we had these cute little wheelbarrows. So I planted this dill. Look at that, you guys. Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry. This camera stick is wiggling around like that. So there is the dill. Then we have some parsley. This is the parsley that I bought from the nursery. We have some chamomile. This is also I bought from the nursery. We have some cilantro right here in the back that's doing fantastic. And the dill. I mean, look at that. Yeah, it's amazing. It's just amazing. I love it. Okay, what else? So now we're over here at this garden beds. Now we have some, let me show you what we got going here. I think these are called cherry babies. Cherry babies. Yep, cherry babies. Right here, we got some cherry babies. And look how good they're doing. Now we've had some 5-star cherry tomatoes growing in this one last year that did fantastic, but these ones are doing pretty good also. Look at that. They're doing really fantastic. I'm excited. I've never tried this variety before. I'm not even too sure. I think these were Johnny selected seeds, if I could remember correctly. And then I also planted some basil right there at the very bottom, because those, I heard the basil and tomatoes are good companion plants. So that's really awesome. Now over here, do you look at these dahlias? I'm surprised these dahlias are really holding up in this heat. Now they're dying out now because they can't handle the heat. Today is supposed to be a nice cool day, but yeah, they're not doing too well. I'm sure they're just going to die out, but they're going to come back next year. All right, so here are our peppers. We had peppers growing here last year, and my little nephew came out and was trying all the peppers for me, telling me which one was hot and which ones weren't. And so, but I didn't grow as many peppers as I did last year because we didn't eat as many as I grew. And I felt like I was the only one eating the peppers. So what I have growing in this garden bed this year is some Big Bertha bell peppers. I bought 2 plants from the nursery, and they're doing really well. So here's one of them, and then the other one's on the other side right here. And then I also bought these hot Fresno chili. So I bought those, and they're already producing some chilies. That's going to be exciting. My plan is to put some of this in the salsas. So here's one of the chili plants right here. And then I have these are some red rockets in the back that I've started from seed right in here. You see that little peppers on there? And then over here, oopsie daisy, almost knocked myself out. That would be hilarious if I fell on my ass on live YouTube. Okay, so right here we have our yellow, this yellow bell pepper. Yep, got that one from the nursery as well. Got 2 of those. We bought 2 of those. And then we have some Thai dragon, just a regular Thai chili. Love some Thai chili. Goes well with Thai food. Okay, and then in the back here, we have some more peppers that I started from seeds that are doing pretty good. Not too bad. Everything in this garden bed, I mean, everything's doing really good. I've only fertilized maybe once, maybe twice. And I use a fish emulsion and Big Grow. It's like a, what is it called? It's called Big Grow something by Fox Farm. That's what it is. So about once, twice a week, I think I use a commercial fertilizer for all our commercial plants, and that's at the job sites. But for the home garden, I use all organic because we actually, you know, we eat it. So I want to have good stuff in the soil. All right, so over here we have our Cherokee purples. Look at that. Do you see that? Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. There we go. Look at that. Oh, you remember my nephew? Someone remembered my nephew trying the peppers. Oh, I miss them so much. I can't wait for them to come out to visit again. But here we have our Cherokee purples, and they're doing fantastic. We have so many growing in here. Okay, so here's my umbrella. It's pretty breezy today. Hopefully it doesn't fall on me. So here is that pumpkin plant. Yeah, this is a pumpkin, and it's not doing too well. Now, okay, so it's not doing well for many reasons. Number one, the heat. Number two, could have been number one, the vole. The vole, that little sucker was digging in here, and voles eat roots. So I feel like I'm gonna have to take out this little pumpkin plant right here. Do you see how stressed out it looks right there? And this this is the only garden bed that gets an umbrella. It gets favoritism over the rest. This because, and the only reason why is because I have never grown a pumpkin. I just want to be able to grow a pumpkin. Last year, I planted so many pumpkin seeds, and I had this vision in my mind that on Thanksgiving, I was going to have all these pumpkins, and on Halloween, like, so obviously Halloween's before Thanksgiving, I was going to drape my doorway with all these fancy pumpkins. And so my goal was I planted all these fancy pumpkins to flank my doorway for Halloween. And I didn't get crap. I didn't get crap. I was really disappointed. I was like, man, one of these years, I hope I get a pumpkin. And I see all these other people, and they just got pumpkins growing all over the place. Not me. I'm trying. But we do have a watermelon. Look at that. We do have a watermelon. Now, are we going to get watermelon? I hope so. I hope so. That is going to be so exciting. All right, so that is what we have going. Did I show you everything in this garden? I believe I might have. Now, you guys, we still have a gingerbread house that we still got to put up. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe I completely forgot. You guys, I booked my first wedding event for next year. My first wedding. So this, one of our son's friends is getting married, and they're a young couple, you know, and you know how weddings are so freaking expensive. So I thought, you know, how cool would that be for their wedding gift if we were to give them, you know, a little venue spot, and then it'd be a good little trial for me to see, you know, what I could do different. And yeah, I'm excited. All right, so let me go and share with you the pomegranates and how they're doing, because I know I don't come out here very often, and since we're going live, and this is how many minutes? Holy moly, we're at 53 minutes, you guys. If you're in there, if you're still hanging in there, thank you. Thank you. All right, so over here, first let me show you Mira. Mira is our Great Pyrenees, and I don't know if you guys remember when we got her. She was so tiny, I could just lift her up and hold her, and now look at her. Oh, and then Val, oh my goodness, look at these little suckers. They are so stinking sweet, and Val is so sweet. Mira is just such a lover, but man, she is stubborn, you guys. So stinking stubborn. She, yeah, she's stubborn. She runs off with your shoes. Oh my God, she's trying to stick her nose in my butt right now. My goodness, girl. So yeah, she's only one. She's only one. She'll, as soon as you go into the house, you leave your shoes out front, she will take off with them, literally. All right, so here we have our pomegranates that are doing fantastic because of the drip. We got some drip. So that is how the pomegranates are doing fantastic. And the ducks, you remember the ducks that we saved? So we have 2 ducks, And the female duck, I believe they're nesting on the other side in our neighbor's area. Oh shoot, we got a tree down. We got a tree limb down. So there are the ducks. Look at this. I just came out here and noticed this right now. Holy moly. Look at this right here. Well, shoot. John's gonna be busy. I don't know if he knows I don't even think he's seen this yet. Because we were just out here yesterday and that tree limb was not laying over the fence like that. That's a bummer. All right, so the ducks are doing fantastic. Everything's doing really good. Look at this. Look at this widowmaker. Do you see this one? Do you see that? That tree fell over as well. Right there. So that's going to be a fun one too. So it's always I always forget about that tree, and John always tells me, do not enter that way. But I do. Because I'm a bad listener when it comes to people telling me what to do. It is so crazy. You guys, oh my goodness. I tell you what, when I first started getting into this landscaping business, you know, for those of you that follow me, I was a hairdresser for many, many years. And I loved it. I loved everything about, sorry, I hit the microphone again. So I loved everything about hairdressing. And then I got into landscaping because of the pandemic. Look at our little baby chickens. They're doing fantastic. They're out scavenging, I don't know, out and about. Look at Val. She wants to be in the camera. Hey, girl. Say hello. So, you know, I'm used to doing hair and not doing that kind of hard labor. So here I am driving the work truck to work, and forgot that I'm driving the work truck. And then I was trying to get in. I had my light on, my signal light on. I'm trying to get into the other lane, and I'm driving, and I see this lady. And as I have my signal line, and she just all of a sudden starts speeding up, like trying to cut me off. So I just scoot into the other lane. So then she tries to pass me. So she does. She runs a red light. She like passes me, and I see her rolling down her window. So I start rolling down my window, and I did not have one of those push buttons. So I'm rolling it down hella fast. And she gives me the middle finger. And so I reciprocate the welcome. I gave her the middle finger. So okay, so then I come home, and I haven't seen John in a while, and he's like in the bathroom, and I'm over there talking to him on the other side of the door, and he's like, how was work today? I was like, oh yeah, work is good. And he's like, yeah. And I said, yeah. He goes, anything happened? I said, no, nothing happened. You know, everything was really good. And he says, did you give someone a middle finger today? Oh my God. And I was like, oh yeah. And he goes, Jade, you cannot give people the middle finger when you're driving the work truck. I was like, oh my God, how'd you know? You know, like, how'd you know? So he's like, you got to listen to this. So the lady that gave me the middle finger, driving a white Lexus, blonde bob, she called and complained and left a message on our voicemail and said that there is this young Mexican boy driving a Radical on the road. So I told John, oh, it wasn't me. It was someone else. So yeah, so that was my first experience of driving a work truck. I'm surprised he did not fire me from that. I was like, oh well, still got a job. Never seen that lady again. Oh no, Mira is not allowed to be in the garden, because if she goes into the garden, you guys, she's a brute. She doesn't care. What's in front of her. She just doesn't care. So we definitely have to get her out of this little garden, because there's so much stuff she can get into, because she already has. Come on, girl. Okay, let me get her out of here. Sorry, guys. Let me get her out of here. Come on, girl. Come on. Let's go. Come on. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I have never given them anybody a middle finger since then, because, you know, that's very unprofessional. But let me tell you, I feel like if someone's going to give you a middle finger, you know, then be it. Goes around, comes around. All right, so here we are in the little garden. This is my first garden that I ever created. This is what got me into gardening, was not only landscaping in the pandemic, but, you know, this, building this garden. So I had so many visions for this space. And you guys, I've been cutting these flowers, and I've been putting these little vases. Oh my goodness, you don't even know how exciting it is to be able to come out here and harvest your own flowers and just put it, and they're not fancy, nothing fancy, just zinnias. And I have, okay, let me just run through what we have going in here. We have a bunch of little flower arrangements. I was just playing around with this. We had some leftover alyssum and some marigolds and things like that. So I just popped them here on both sides of the garden bed. Doesn't that look so cute? It's going to look cuter, you know, once I really, really do it up. All right. And then we have some zinnias right here. We have some zinnias. This little guy right here. Do you see this one right here? Can you see that one? Look at that. Oh, I'm not even showing you. You see what I'm seeing right here? Look at this little guy. Isn't that so stinking cute? This right here, there was a local farmer, and he had a bunch of them growing in front of his farm stand. And he told me they're a Thai flower. So he harvests them for me, and then he like cut some down. So then we dried it. I harvested the seed, and I put it right in there. Look at that. So amazing. So all these zinnias, I started them from seed, looking amazing. We have so many of them. Some of them did good, like the bachelor buttons right there that are kind of flopped over. Do you see that right there? Those looked good in the beginning. I didn't harvest any of them because the stems were so short. But look at this. Look at that. How pretty is that? That looks so good in little jars. And I just cut these and put them in little mason jars. It looks so cute and fancy. So yeah, that's what's happening in the garden, this little garden, just flowers. And then I was telling John, like, I was like, oh, John, you know what we should do? We should go make some fencing and put the fencing in the middle of our yard right over here. And I was telling him, and I know he was probably like, oh crap. So I was like, we should just put piles of dirt right in here. And then I could make that my cut flower garden. And yeah, he said no. He was like, Jade. He goes, we have to finish what we have already. Like, we still have to put the toilet in the right spot. We still have to build the gingerbread house. We still have to, you know, do so many little things around the property. Oh, there he is. And so, yeah, so that is what's happening. So we are really I had to start busting my ass, painting the barn, getting this place ready for a wedding for next year. They're going to come and help, because what we talked about was, instead of paying us, they could just pay us in their labor, in their young youth. So let me share with you how the lambs are doing. You guys, Kim, Chloe, Courtney, they're doing fantastic. Fantastic. Let's see if they're going to come out. Kim, Chloe, Courtney, I hope they're still in there. Come on, guys. They're probably sleeping. I don't know where they're at. Let's go take a look inside the barn. Sorry if the barn is a hot mess. Oh, here they are. Okay, there they are. There's Kim and Chloe. Chloe is the nicest one. There's Courtney. Courtney's not that nice, but Chloe lets me pet her. See, look at that. You guys, this is so fun. It's like oh, you guys, these puppies are knocking around the camera, so if it's wiggly like that, it's not the person that's handling it. All right. So yeah, there is Chloe, Kim, Courtney, doing fantastic. Everyone's doing good. Chickens are doing good. And I found out that Val is a bird killer. She is a bird killer, not a chicken killer, but little birds will come and land on the ground, you know, just scavenge and stuff like that. And she will go and take their asses out. She goes and chomps on them. I think that's pretty much it. You guys, I don't have anything else to show you. That's pretty much a whole garden farm vlog. And let's see. Okay. You know, you guys, when you go live, so people, they can make comments and stuff like that. And some people say the weirdest shit. So crazy. But yeah, so that is how everything's doing. The garden's doing fantastic, looking lush and lovely. Just working at different locations, different containers. I haven't really been planting a bunch of things because when you start when the heat starts to set in, then no, things start to die. And planting new plants, it's been my experience that once you plant the new plant, you have to water in a few, like at least good couple days in a row, just so that way the roots can really, you know, get situated. And if you start planting them in the heat like this, they just do not do well. There's my man. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Look at these comments that people say. Okay. Like, they're like infatuated with bell buttons. Oh, I saw your belly. Okay. Weirdos. Weirdos. Okay, so that is what's happening on the farm. The garden's looking good. I told them that you told me to put a halt on my cut flower garden because I wanted to put the cut flower garden in the center, and you said
put a halt on it. I said you already put a cut flower garden.
I want a big one. I want a big. And then we have a greenhouse also. You know, we have that greenhouse that John bought. So we have so many projects, but eventually we're going to get it all done. Eventually. So hopefully everyone is staying safe out in this heat, drinking lots of water, staying in the shade if possible. And yeah, take care, be safe. John's picking some plums right now. Oh yeah, we have some plum trees too. I'm going to attempt to make some plum jam. But yeah, so hopefully everyone enjoys this video. Take care, be safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. All right, now I have to figure out how to turn this off. Is that it? Yes.